Welcome back. The role of artificial intelligence and information technology in building the state and developing institutional systems. This is going to be our topic for this segment. And to shed more light over this important topic, we're joined by Dr. Nasser Raafat, and he's telecom and media investment consultant. But first, over to this report, and we will come back.
Egypt's plans to become a leading artificial intelligence powerhouse in North Africa has received a jolt following plans to begin phase 2 of its national AI strategy. Communications and Information Technology Minister Amr Talat said that plans for the second phase will commence in the second quarter of 2024. Talat confirms that Egypt's AI plans will see the government introduce initiatives across human resources, technology, information infrastructure, data, and environment. A significant portion of the second stage of the national strategy builds upon the accomplishments of the first round of AI initiatives introduced by the government. Talat says the second phase will roll until the middle of 2027. To achieve its lofty ambitions, the second round of initiatives will focus on increasing the scope of AI investments. Set for completion in May 2024, Phase 1 explored the deployment of AI in an attempt to achieve Egypt's sustainable development goals. Government-backed initiatives were introduced. A statement on the United Nations Sustainable Development Knowledge Platform stated that the overreaching aim of the strategy is for Egypt to possess a competitive, balanced, and diversified economy.
Welcome back. We're very delighted to be having with us telecom and media investment consultant, Dr. Nasser Raafat. Good morning, Dr. Raafat.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing? And happy Ramadan.
Ramadan to you as well.
First of all, let us give a clear definition to the average person. What is the definition of artificial intelligence in this age? I mean, in the time, the momentum, when we talk about AI everywhere, there are lots of definitions, but what could be the best definition from your own perception?
Let's take it the basic level. It's machine learning, collects from big data, analyze it, and then creates a pattern. From this pattern, it creates prediction, and then from this prediction, it creates automation to the process. So it is 5 stages, and it's all based on neural network, which started from the 1990s. So
that was a long way.
Yes,
but
actually,
it was different then.
In 1992, neural network science was there, and we used to use it for the industrial automation. So neural network, same as the brain works. Our brains consist of neurals.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's the same process. But AI today has taken giant steps. It's even moved from the normal basic AI. Now it is more or less, as we call it, takes its own decision, as well as it can automate the automations itself.
Automate the automations, but let me then stop at taking its own decisions. It cannot take its own decisions unless it is programmed, right?
Exactly. We consist of left brain, right brain. We have creative side, and then we have the execution side. Yeah?
We have the
creative,
okay.
And we have the decision-making and execution side.
That's
right?
nice.
Now, AI today has reached that level. It can create and it can take decision, which is, it has to be, of course, it is very advantageous to us in many ways, especially when it is regulated. But AI today is literally 40% of the workforce. It will help and assist you in your work. It is not there to make you redundant. In some work, in some professions, unfortunately, there will be redundancy. However, there's other work for them to do, of course. But it will increase the efficiency by 60% and reduce, unfortunately, the headcount by 40%. This is where we're coming to. So when I talk about automating the automation itself, it takes you to different areas, which is government or city related as well. So if you go into the smart city grid automation, now we can control, or the AI can do the traffic, can as well manage the environment, monitoring environment. It can manage many areas from the governmental area to not fully managed, of course. It will enhance the management of it. That's why in all countries now worldwide, they are adapting AI as mandatory on the government sectors to save efficiency and boost as well the processes and workflows.
Well, I have a question that is out of this,
Sure.
the questions that we have here, but out of curiosity, I mean, whoever is listening now to this segment or watching us might cross his mind to ask that question. When we talk about AI, we talk about many possibilities in the near future.
Sure.
Like AI is replacing, it has already been replaced by all the governmental services and sectors and everything. But there is some critical situations and critical positions where you could imagine as a human that artificial intelligence could replace the human one, but there should be, there is supposed to be pros and cons.
Yes, yes, yes.
If you like to talk to us about it, because it always crosses our mind as ordinary people, as average people who do not understand, like robots, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, in military services, in medical services. I mean, it could be a two-sided weapon.
In the medical side, it is safe. Now, in the medical, of course, the internet has read all the curriculums. And the AI has taken all these vast data, analyzed it, and he learned from it, from deep learning. So medical, legal, it is there already. However, when it comes to the operational side, so AI can recommend to you, can read your symptoms, can recommend what is the next phase of tests required. Upon you enter that next phase of tests required, he can tell you what you have. As well, there is current robotics now available, which can operate on the human beings as well.
They can operate?
Yes, very accurately on the human beings. It's there.
And
But
they could
of
be
course-
directed from distance by a doctor? Or they
Of
operate
course,
on
of
their
course,
own?
Of course. There is a decision has to be made by human eventually. If he can let the robot go and do this particular surgery, so he's going to be, the human will be the QCers. So the quality control assurance. Yes, this is correct, go ahead, perform. Similarly, similar thing you find in the area of the legal sector, and as well on the media sector. There is a huge disruption. On the media sector, the creative side, now the AI from prompt can create a movie, high quality movies as well as, and this is changes the whole specs of media. Media production used to be high, expensive, and is controlled by organizations who have the funds to it. And we used to say media or content is king. It's not going to be anymore. Why? Because the normal viewer, he can create his own high quality content, so there's going to be overflow of content, of supply. So content's not going to be really king in that domain. But this is from the media side. And we can go on forever. Going back to as you have mentioned, where is the line? Where does it stop?
Where could we draw the line?
Where can we draw the line?
It seems that there would be, in the near future, there won't be any lines. I mean, there won't be limits.
I'm afraid we're a bit late, but we are trying to do our best in terms to regulate where we stop with AI, because the more we keep it learning, the more it takes over. So today there are regulations that are being discussed, and where should we stop? But it seems there is no joint effort in terms of everybody saying, yes, let's stop here at this point. Everybody wants to push the envelope, out of which now start talking about hybrid beings using the AI, that interface, because as you know, now there are some machines today by Elon Musk and other which can make human interface to the internet, blah, 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 which is called hybrid being. So before we started to develop robotics, to automate, to help us out, I'm afraid we're going towards the direction which are human, they're going to be the robotics. If we did not draw the line, which is quite significant, but we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, a year back or 2 years back, we have seen over social media a TV presenter conducting an interview with someone who is not being there. What is that called? I mean, what is that process called? And he was like in flesh and blood right before her, but there was nobody. And they talked about situations like I can travel, go to Japan or go to India and go through places as if I'm seeing it already.
Yes.
I mean, talk to us a little bit about...
there's augmented reality and there's VR as well into the AI domain. And augmented reality, of course, this is where you interact with the environment around you. And you get to see it as if you are there, as you mentioned. There are so many technologies now that implement augmented reality that we are using. But with the AI integrations, give it a bit step higher. As you mentioned, presenters, they could be replaced with AI. So anybody I can take your face, just your face. I can make you proper lip syncing. I can make you say what you want, what I want. I can make you move.
And that is already happening on social media.
This is done.
But conducting, I mean, be present in a place when you are in another country. I mean, how is that going to happen, and what does it feel? I mean, if I'm trying to conduct, for example, an interview with the President of the United States or someone who already died or something like I use AI, do I see him right before me in flesh and blood? I mean, not in flesh and blood, but I mean in 3 or 4D, as if there is something that is really tangible.
Holographic. It's like a hologram.
Hologram. Yes, they talked about the hologram.
It's the hologram.
What is hologram?
Hologram is the next step of, like here in Maspero, you have 4K, which is we call the Ultra HD, and then you have the HD. Today we'll talk about 8K, and there is even 16K. All this to give you the perfection when you draw a 3D image in real life. Hologram is a 3D 360. You can go 360, and you can actually interact. So I'll be seeing you in this table, and I can walk around and see you from all aspects. And there's development now in terms of the interactivity that we can even handshake, and you can feel you handshaking.
I could feel it.
Yes. This is special wear. It's been developed to do that. So TV today, as you see, it's not going to be TV like this in 15 years. It's going
How is it going to be like?
It's going into hologram. All it's going to be hologram based. That's why data, it's important. As we say, the most critical thing nowadays is the data. So the more data we have with even the show like this, to bundle it with it, it's important for the future. Why? I've noticed, like my kids at home, I'm an old guy and you are a young lady. The way I experience viewing is different than yours. I'm used to lazy viewing, TV. You're used to the VOD, the social media, the parts. But what makes it more special, when I sit with my kids to watch a show, I'm watching it and they are looking into the background of the show, more information, more data about the actors, about the directors, about what's the story about, etc., etc. So data. And this is where we're going. This is where AI comes in as well. You will find in this coming era that AI integration, we said AI automate the automation, correct? It reached that level. So you'll find that everything about you is known on the era, and everything is going to be personalized. So even content is going to be sent to you in personalized fashion, with all monetization levels that goes with it. From investment point of view, I go back to the investment point of view with AI. Today, it is the fourth largest investment in the world in terms of spending. And here in Egypt, in 2018, there was the digital strategy was launched, which is involved looking into the infrastructure, looking into the regulations, looking into as well connecting all the governmental sector. And this was in 2019, I think there was $2 million was given to connect 7 ministries with 25 buildings, I believe, through fiber optics. In 2022, there was an e-commerce app was introduced in the market, which has 170 services, automated services for us to use, which were AI driven as well. So Egypt is there already, and it is leading that sector. So many things happen on the telecom side here in Egypt to support that AI level. It doesn't happen from one day. The infrastructure now is ready. It's there. And the AI is already implemented in Egypt and it's taken major steps. And Egypt, like Qanat al-Suez, Egypt, all the fiber optics, there's like 19 fiber optics, sea fiber optics goes through Egypt. So all the data coming from the east to Europe comes through Egypt. Through AI, of course, there are lots of potentials that we can do. So that's in a nutshell.
Right. You talked about that process. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yes.
Of course, this makes a lot of sense. But then, if it doesn't happen overnight, explain to us, how does artificial intelligence happen, or what are the stages? How does it work? In order that we could reach the sustainable development that is required. And of course, Egypt have come a long way, have worked so hard, of course, according to the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, to be able to reach the 17 goals of sustainable development. So how exactly is it going to work?
Okay, it's all about data. From data, you design, not design, it's done already, the workflow and process between the government sectors, between the citizens and the government. Now, with intelligent automation, there is customer services has enhanced with AI. As well, the data analysis and pattern recognitions has been there as well. Personalization in terms of the marketing, it's been there with AI. But with enhanced decision of AI, as well advanced collaboration technique that AI introduces, this has put the government bureaus in a high efficiency stage in delivering the right information, as well taking the right decisions to process any workflow required to achieve that result. Egypt is there. All around the world, there's initiatives, even in Saudi, in the Emirates, in UK and US. It's all about fully automating the process. And Egypt, in terms of digital transformation, already has done that. but there are more yet to come that you will see very soon.
Hopefully, inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Well, then, moving from that side to or another level, which is the artificial intelligence helping us already in establishing the sustainable development that we are opting for, and sustainable cities, sustainable governments, and sustainable economy, which is the core of any development, and also the communities, to upgrade our communities, upgrade our cultural
yes.
background. That would take a lot of effort.
It takes
Because
a
we
lot of
also
effort.
need to maintain
Yes.
our ethical background, our heritage at the same time. We don't want to lose our identities.
No, we don't lose our identities.
Because there is,
yes,
we're so scared.
An overlap.
Sometimes people would be so curious that someday there would be a crash between losing the identity and the heritage in order to acquire an upgrade in our culture and everything.
We always say Egypt is special, and the way we operate is very special. It
Yes.
is not like 1 + 1 = 2. It depends how we look at it. It depends on the situation, etc. So you are right when you say that heritage, how preserve heritage, yet we can introduce AI to automate the process while we're preserving our heritage. It's a very good question. Now, AI is all about reasoning and predictions and decision making. Now, but AI again is based on deep learning. Deep learning, the more information you give him about the heritage, he will learn, or it will learn. It will learn.
The more you feed
The more you feed
the system,
the more you see, the more data you give him about the heritage and how we operate and how we want to perform the processes, can recommend to us what we can do in terms of that. But again, it's up to us to say, check, yes, to agree on these processes to move forward. So we can find a middle ground. A middle ground, this is where it comes the regulations. Exactly. So the regulation is all about to see how it can adapt to our environment, to our culture, to our workflow, not to disturb the current status, but to enhance it. So go back to your question, which is an excellent question.
thank you.
Culturally and heritage, this is quite challenging. But yes, because we'll see. It's challenging.
Right. On this positive note, of course, Dr. Nasser Raafat, you are telecom and media investment consultant. I'd like to thank you so much for coming over today to the breakfast show and giving us part of your insight about artificial intelligence. Thank you for coming.
It's all my
And
pleasure.
we'll have
Thank you
to
so
end it
much.
here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. It was our pleasure. And we're going to go to a short break and we'll come to continue the breakfast show. So stay with us.